I ended up settling in Missoula in my early 20s after I'd grown up mostly in Great Falls. I ended up traveling a lot, being a hippie, that sort of thing. As soon as I was old enough, I left. Traveled through the Northwest, through the Midwest, a little bit of the East Coast. Finally ended up settling in Missoula. It's the only place in Montana where anything's going on. So it's been an incredible musical experience. I have found a number of different mentors, and compared to a lot of the other places I've been, I find that Missoula is a great place to temper, one's musical skills. There's a very, very high standard for music in Missoula, and if you can make a go of it here in Missoula, you can pretty much do it anywhere. Trial by fire, essentially, and a handful of different people have very much inspired me, taught me a lot. Some of the mainstays here in Missoula, these guys have really kind of nurtured my capability, and it seems to me that it just seems that every time I leave, I end up in awful situations. Most of them due to a significant other, something like that. And the first song I'm going to play is kind of about one of those experiences. If any, there are a lot of guys that can relate to this, since the subject matter is essentially about being a father and having a child taken away from you. I'm not technically a father. I was more of a stepfather, but it was a painful experience all the same. And pain is always a more interesting story than being happy. So the song's called "Our Obligation." It's not so noisy. Let me see if I can try that again. It's not so noisy anymore, but you can't even tell what's real. Now this silence is a score, and you can't even make a deal. So kneel before me. It's not time to stroke our pride today. You can ignore me, but our girl must know I tried to stay. You don't owe me anything but the failure of a ring and a chance to speak my mind. I have nothing in this world more than our little girl, but you still remain unkind. I had a reason to believe. Now I can't even tell what's true. All the ways you would deceive, but it's not so much about you. It's something she's not getting. Mommy isn't letting Daddy call to say he cares. Something wasn't working, now she's the one who's hurting. Daddy really wishes he was there. All my days are such a blur since I've been without her. Not sure if I'll see her again. If the devil has his way, Daddy's gonna pay for Mommy's secret sins. I lost my mind, my heart turned cold, a blackened soul in a heart-shaped hole. With family gone, I have no more. You have each other. Now I'm alone. Now I'm alone. anymore. I've been standing on my own. Still mean everything I swore. In spite of every single stone you thrown. You said I was her father, then I'd call her daughter. People said she looks just like her dad. My life was so worth keeping, now I'm the one who's weeping. I lost the greatest thing I ever had. It's almost too much to take, but I'm not about to break. Just want to see her once more. I'm gonna find a way to see my girl someday. Give her the home she had before. I lost my mind, my heart turned cold. A blackened soul in a heart-shaped hole. The family gone, I have no home. You have each other, now I'm alone. Now I'm alone. The world we knew another time. Then mom commits another crime. That time was real, just not in my mind. I see it all. You're still blind. You're still blind. I lost my mind, my heart turned cold. A blackened soul in a heart-shaped hole. The family gone, I have no home. You have each other, now I'm alone. I'm alone. So yeah, reflective of bad decisions, I suppose. Tough time with relationships. Some people have it, some people don't. So that was spawned from my experiences in Idaho with a significant other that had a bit of a drug problem, and that's kind of what ended the whole thing. It's funny how some of these bad experiences have actually produced some of my best music. I guess, as I've said before, tragedy is a great inspiration. What I end up coming to out of such an experience, it kind of developed a bit of a sense of accountability in dealing with these things. Everybody kind of makes their own decisions, and even in a lack of foresight, we still essentially make the choices that lead us to the places we end up. That's what this next song is actually about. I asked the devil for this dance. When I dance with the devil, I I'm the one who takes the lead. People say he'll bring me trouble, but to me he must concede. Dip and despair, forget this mess that we're in. I'll trade you sin for sin. Simple power of suggestion to justify the things I've done, and stop myself with self-oppression, and make my Satan my imagination. Sin for sin, that's how it begins. Unspeakable regret, what he fell into. My head starts to spin, desire to fake prescription. Unspeakable sin, all never ends to make my own demons that force me to hide, and blame them for the things I do, the way I feel inside. The only thing that's chasing me could be my only chance. Despite how close it gets to me, I ask the devil for this dance. Dance is just a step, dizzy falling in, prerequisite to end. As I was dancing with the devil, I could see that I was all alone. It was always me who brought me trouble, and now I'll never feel at home. Sin for sin, that's how it begins. Reasonable regret for what we fell into. My head starts to spin, desire to fake prescription. Unspeakable sin, I'll never admit to. And make my own demons that force me to hide, and blame them for the things I do, the way I feel inside. The only thing that's chasing me now could be my only chance. Despite how close it gets to me, I ask the devil for this dance. I ask the devil for It's a theme that kind of comes up in my music a lot, is the devil. And I suppose, personally, I kind of see the devil as a bit of a scapegoat. It's what people attribute to failings or bad things happening instead of kind of owning it. So, along the whole devil theme, I've written essentially but one country song, and I think it's kind of appropriate to Montana sometimes. Sometimes I don't, but oftentimes I kind of feel like selling it, that song. But yeah, this one's kind of a story, fiction, just solely based on being a story. The concept that I was kind of surprised after I wrote it that nobody else has ever done it before, but this, it's about bringing ice water to hell.
Came on a black horse that didn't feel flames, and to this very day nobody knows his name. He never stood for justice, even though he knew it well, and he's the man who's known to bring ice water to hell. Rode right up to me and handed me a canteen. I knew right away it was more than it seemed. I drank until I couldn't, and then the next man drank it down. But everybody got their fill when the man came to town. As our souls were burning, never too much to think. All of us were thirsty, he gave us a drink. Nobody knew him, no legend we could tell, but the time that the man brought ice water to hell. Before he was finished, Satan came to see, who is this man who makes hell a mockery? And the devil would attack him, but the devil took too long, 'cause if all he could blame, that dark rider was gone. We've all been waiting since for him to come again, but no one has seen how to heal that peculiar man. The devil now seems so depressed, he isn't doing well, since the time that the man brought ice water to hell. As our souls were burning, it hurt too much to think. All of us were thirsty, he gave us all a drink. Nobody knew him, no legend we could tell, but the time that the man brought ice water to hell. Nobody knew him, no legend we could tell, but the time that the man brought ice water to hell. The time that the man brought ice water to hell. The last time that the man brought ice water to hell.
I think, yeah, a couple of these tunes are actually on the video, the Badlander. That was an interesting night. It was a very interesting night. It was that day I woke up with excruciating pain in my mouth. It turned out I had an abscess tooth. And there we are, the finals for the top of the mic that night. Oh, well, okay, I have to do it. I have to. So I played that performance with an abscess tooth. Some people weren't the wiser. So I suppose this next tune, some of the more recent material I'm working on, I'm doing somewhat of an homage to Tom Waits and some of his stylings, hopefully with a little bit of my own twist to avoid a lawsuit for plagiarization. But song is probably the most relevant in my repertoire towards Missoula. It's about 503 East Front Street, which at this point is nearly torn down, and the song to some degree makes mention of that. It's called Whiskey in the Front. It's been a long whiskey winter. It's not hard to keep your drink cold. Old Croton High, a shame on the rocks, works better than using the snow. 16 below, outside is a no. I can feel the wind blow through the window. Drifts piling so high, you can't open the door. Whiskey waltz in my throat while we sit on the floor. Ollie would stumble, while Shannon would play. Deuces are wild, cribbage and spades. Tommy would cuss while he's rolling the smoke, and he swears by the scotch that he spoke. We get by in a house built for sin. We get by without vodka or gin. Don't stop till your head starts to spin, 'cause next year this building's condemned. I'd sit on the couch while Brad passes out. Matthew says he'll quit smoking when this pack runs out. We'd sneer like the dealer when the chips are all down. Travel come spring to another town. Jesus gave me $20, is what Shawnee would say. Camels carrying a suitcase with an accordion to play. Someone said we need a banjo and a fiddle to be sure, a mandolin for good measure, and call the cats just what they were. Well, I was falling off the balcony with confetti in my hair. Morgan brought another bottle that we'd share. We play Munchkin every Tuesday, but tonight's just a gas. If the ashtray's getting empty, stuff a snowball in your glass. Drinking to the dollars while the oven cooks a roast. Matthew keeps on saying that he's moving to the coast. Long whiskey winter, good to be here, 'cause we'll all drink somewhere else this time next year. Real high in a house built for sin. We get by without vodka or gin. Don't stop till your head starts to spin, 'cause next year this place gets condemned. Lily and Swamp and the pets have been fed. Someone made a snowman with a volleyball head. I guess his name is Wilson, at least that's what I think. And he's gonna stay outside, 'cause he's not gonna drink a long whiskey weather. It was good to be here, 'cause we'll all drink somewhere else this time next year. That last chord is always awful, on purpose. Often the result of drinking. But, I am quite fond of Missoula, and the circumstances under which I got here this time around, I really kind of wasn't expecting it. Plans always, I like to be malleable because plans often don't work out. And it looks like I'm going to be in Missoula for a while. So I'll be out and about. Open mics, maybe some gigs. Who knows? But in the meantime, I guess Missoula is very close to my heart, and it is definitely the city that has molded me musically. Not just the city itself, but many of the participants in the music scene. So, a big shout out to you, Missoula. I am in love.
Came on a black horse that didn't feel flames, and to this very day nobody knows his name. He never stood for justice, even though he knew it well, and he's the man who's known to bring ice water to hell. Rode right up to me and handed me a canteen. I knew right away it was more than it seemed. I drank until I couldn't, and then the next man drank it down. But everybody got their fill when the man came to town. As our souls were burning, never too much to think. All of us were thirsty, he gave us drink. Nobody knew him, no legend we could tell, but the time that the man brought ice water to hell. Before he was finished, Satan came to see, who is this man who makes hell a mockery? And the devil would attack him, but the devil took too long, 'cause before he could blink, that dark rider was gone. We've all been waiting since for him to come again, but no one has seen how to heal of that peculiar man. The devil now seems so depressed, he isn't doing well, since the time that the man brought ice water to hell. As our souls were burning, it hurt too much to think. All of us were thirsty, he gave us all a drink. Nobody knew him, no legend we could tell, but the time that the man brought ice water to hell. Nobody knew him, no legend we could tell, but the time that the man brought ice water to hell. The time that the man brought ice water to hell. The last time that the